Hey guys, so in this lesson I'm going to cover the outliner, the channel box and the attribute editor. So when you create an object, so say if we go to the create tab, polygon primitives and sphere, let's get into perspective view. So see how this is created in here. So this is basically corresponding to the sphere in the view. So this is just like where Maya dumps, once you've created something, it dumps it in here. So you can easily select it from here. And then you can rename it. So it's a really important practice to get into the habit of renaming things and naming things so you know exactly what it is. Instead of having to just keep searching for it, you know exactly what it is. So I'm just going to call this maybe ball. Okay? So we've got the ball here. And so you can select it from here. So if you wanted to delete it, you could just go to your outliner, select the ball and press the delete key. Okay, so the outliner is really good for that. So every time you create something, it will pop up in the outliner. So that's what that's for basically. Okay, so then you've got the cube you just created, and then if you delete this, then it will be deleted from the outliner. Okay, so the attribute editor, I won't go into too much detail, but it just holds a lot of information about your object. So things like, if you go over to this, you don't need to worry too much about, and neither this, but if you say change these both to 10 for example, it won't make it have so many points, so you can see it's not as smooth. But if you put this to like 30 and this to 30, then it's going to be a lot smoother. It's going to have a lot more points though. Okay, so then if we go to the channel box, so the channel box, this holds all of the maths and the position of this in the 3D space in the viewport. So I'll tell you what I mean. So say you've got your translate X, so it corresponds to this axis down here. So translate X, it means it's going to move it in this direction, right? So if you click on this, hover over the viewport and hold the middle mouse button and drag it left and right, it will move this left and right. Okay? Oh, would you go away? Fuck off. And similarly, if you can put this back to 0. If you put this to 10, then it's going to move over 10. It'll move over 10 units in the space. If you put it to minus 10, it will move over in the negative x, 10. And then if you move it in the y, it should move it up or down. So if it's a positive number, it will move it up. So you can say give it 20, and then it's moved it up 20. Okay? You press minus 20, it'll move it down minus 20 units, and so on and so forth. You can do the same with the x, which will move it the z, sorry, which will move it either back or forward. But you can also drag and see how this value is changing as you're dragging. So if you drag it in the positive, it will be a positive number. If you drag it in the negative, it will be negative. So that's how the channel box works. And it works the same with the rotate and the scale. So if I scale it, if I scale it bigger, it will be a positive scale. If it's negative, then it will be a minus. But you want to keep it on the positive side with the scale. There we go. Okay. So that's the channel box, the attribute editor, and the outliner. And that concludes this lesson.